Okay, I wanted to revisit one of the first like AI applications I ever made, which was extremely embarrassing, extremely simple. Definitely started on Lovable, but I implemented RAG using Qdrant, and the main reason was to basically ingest a ton of these podcast episodes from David Senra's founders, so I could just go ask questions or like start adding stuff to my own notebook from it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a question here. So I'll do a quick demo of what this did. If you just like put a question in, then I'm going to speed it up, but it's basically just going to immediately pull up these episode references. It would basically then give you a confidence match and then give you a response based on that. So just like very basic OpenAI. This is probably running some like really old OpenAI model. I'm impressed it works. So I'll let this finish out real quick. Okay, cool, that's done. As you can see, I would have it highlight stuff and kind of quote and associate it to the matches. It would also show kind of the token usage here, which I thought was interesting. Had a very basic dumb chat history. I think this sidebar probably doesn't even work. This is like pure lovable slop, like OG lovable slop, especially like the blinding light mode. The like crackling constellations cracking me up. The one thing I did add was like this will like pop up a separate window, but I added some Google Auth login, and it would basically limit you to 3 queries once you like signed in. The main reason was I was like sending this to people. I didn't want them to like pound it and blow up my API key. So I'm gonna ask one more question here and we'll see how well it pulls up stuff. Nice, okay. It pulls up kind of the relevant episodes for this, and it'll do basically the same thing it did before. So I won't sit here and make you go through this whole thing, but I kind of want to do a code review of this very OG, like first vibe coded app I made. So let's go check it out. All right, so let's see what we're working here. I think I first committed to this probably like a year ago. Yeah, check that out, July 2025. So I don't know where Lovable was, but I'm pretty sure this started as a Lovable project. And we can probably see that in the README. Yeah, it's got this very templated README, and I think this is exactly how Lovable used to put stuff on their projects. So again, the main inspiration was I really liked this podcast, and I had like a crappy GPU at the time, so I just like burned it for a week and transcribed every single podcast. This doesn't look very long, but I'm sure this could scroll horizontally for a very, very long time. But I took every single episode available then and just transcribed it on that GPU, just left it running for a super, super long time because it wasn't that good. I think I was using like a very basic Whisper, but it worked pretty well. Anyways, let's go see what we got here. Yep, is I posted this working backend, so that probably means I wired up Qdrant and got it working. What's cool is that I was smart enough to at least write some kind of deployment guides or do a little bit of like agent engineering here. Looks like I probably had a slight discussion and put these steps there, or I was just trusting the agent fully. I'm cracking up because I went straight from having Qdrant running and working to Google Auth, which is pretty funny. I remember I was trying to put Google Auth in there just to learn how to do it. This was the first app I'd used Google Auth. And if we take a peek in here, I'm kind of curious what this is looking like. Okay, so nothing too fancy, but I was also trying to add this rate limit, and that's because I wanted to publish this publicly and just send it to some friends, and I didn't want people to be able to just query and like burn through my OpenAPI key at the time. It worked pretty well, I remember, but then it made my like testing really annoying. I had to build a little workaround for that, and I didn't really understand what I was doing there. I'm curious why I had to upgrade this Vercel runtime here. What was this one? Oh, I see, just running to the Vercel node. But anyways, this was one of my earliest projects using RAG on Qdrant, which feels ancient already, but what's crazy is I was working on this as soon as like 7 months ago. Curious what you guys think and if anybody is using RAG like this anymore, because I've almost moved all of my personal projects to just tiered memory.